Namaste everyone. I hope wherever you're in this world, you're doing well, blessed by the eternal and auspicious light of Dharma. So today I'm going to discuss a herb which is Ashvagandha. This herb is known as king of herbs in the world. Throughout the world, it is also known as ginseng of India. It's such a powerful, rejuvenating herb that it's known everywhere in the world. There's a lot of research studies on this herb, and we'll discuss many of them in details. We won't have time to discuss every, but there's so many research papers written over the period of time, and it has been proven to be beneficial in many aspects. We'll discuss all those aspects. We'll also discuss what are the properties of this herb in the Ayurvedic text, like what are the gunas, gundharam we call it. Gundharam is what are whether it is hot or cold or ocean or mild. So what is the temperature, what is the channel propensity, which channel it goes into, and what are its vipak. Vipak means what are the effect of it after digestion, and what are the other many other things we'll discuss. So all the properties of gundharmas as discussed in Ayurvedic text we'll discuss in this video, and also we'll discuss what are the benefits, which are the people who should consume it, and what kind of benefits a person can achieve by consuming this herb. And another question is, what are its contraindications? Is it safe to be consumed by anyone, or are there certain contraindications? So that will be discussed as well. And the fourth one is very important, is how to consume it, how much to consume, or when to consume. All these questions will be discussed in detail. So stay tuned. First thing first, why we call it Ashvagandha? Because it smells like a powerful sweaty horse came after a good sprint, and also because it can enhance your sexual potency like a horse. How it look like? It's like a shrub. You'll be surprised to know that it is actually belong to the same family as the tomatoes are. So it's very, very safe to consume. As a medicine, normally its roots are used as an adaptogen. So Ashwagandha is a very, very good adaptogen. Adaptogen means that your body has much, much more resilient now to the same kind of stress. If you put your body under the same kind of stress, your body will handle it much, much better. So chronic stress, which is very common these days, increase the amount of cortisol in the body and reduce the amount of vitamin C. So it has been tested. So once vitamin C level goes down, then your immunity is affected. And once cortisol level goes up, it actually can alter the very structure of the brain, and cortisol can be very damaging. Cortisol is a chemical which is very, very important for the body to function. You need some cortisol in some minimum amount, but if it goes overboard, then it can start messing up your fight and flight system. It hijacks your fight and flight system, and it can make you do things which will be very, very crazy. So like it can damage this very, very structure of the brain, and it can make the brain unhealthy. It can interfere with the memory, with sleep, with anxiety, stress, depression, and all of them. Okay, so what are the side effects of Ashwagandha? So number one, it is very, very good medicine to increase the thyroid function in the body. It improves the metabolic rate. So if you have, it has been tested, there are scientific studies, I will attach a few here, that TSH level can come down if you have a thyroid problem. So if it can come down. So if you have a hypothyroid problem, it's a very effective medicine for you. But if you are on hyperthyroid function, you should be careful. Secondly, for pregnancy, it's advisable not to take it, because it really boosts your hormonal system, and during the pregnancy time it can disturb the fetus. So best not to avoid it, even though there is no scientific studies that prove that it can damage the fetus or do something like that. But it's to be careful, on the safer side, it's better not to take during the pregnancy. Also, if you have any kind of bleeding that is happening, even though it is very, very good medicine for ulcer, there have been studies which shows that if you have any kind of ulcer because of excessive acidities in the system, ulcer can be anywhere, can be in the stomach or in the mouth or in the large intestine. It's effective against the ulcer, including the cancerative ulcer. But if you are bleeding, then those times you should avoid it because it can fuel more bleeding. Yeah, so I think also if you're on some immunosuppressant drug, because you want to suppress the overactive immune system, during that time also it's advisable not to take it. And if you are below 80 years old, then also after 8 years you can take, below 8 years just avoid, it may be too strong for them. Okay, so how this medicine ashwagandha rasayan has been used traditionally, what are the ways in which this has been used in Indian materia medica? In Bhaprakash, it's a popular Ayurvedic text, it has been mentioned that ashwagandha निश्लेषण श्वेत शोथ क्षापः बल्या रसायने तिक्ता कषायोषणा अतिशुक्रला. That has been mentioned. So what does that mean? It means that Indian materia medica used it as for to a person who has a general debility, who has impotence, who has some kind of brain fatigue or brain degeneration happening, some kind of, if someone has low sperm count, and research have proved that there's no research to prove that it increases the sperm count, but there is research to prove that it improves the quality of the sperm, and other nervous exhaustion, anxiety, to restore the general vigor and energy, insomnia. So these are the way in which it has been used traditionally in the Ayurvedic text over thousands and thousands of years. Is ashwagandha good for kids? Yes. If your kid is above 8 years old, then it's a very, very good medicine. It has been proven scientifically that it increases the anabolic reactions in the body. Anabolic reactions are which make the muscle formation, the catabolic reactions which break the muscle down. And anabolic reaction basically boosts the muscle mass. So not just boost the muscle mass but also the bone mass. So if your kids is after 8 years old, between 8 to 18, which is the growing age, so he will gain better height, and of course will be more muscular. What happens is, how it does that, what happens is when your body have excessive cortisol, then bodies start doing more catabolic reactions. Okay, so when you have more cortisol, body is doing more catabolic reactions, and catabolic reactions is opposite of anabolic reaction, which means they are breaking down the muscle formation. Now ashwagandha reduce the cortisol, so catabolic reaction have reduced, which means the anabolic reactions goes up naturally. So once anabolic body is in anabolic reaction mode, your body will form more muscle mass, and that's why this is very, very popular among the bodybuilders in Australia, not just Australia but all over the world. Okay, so how much to consume and when to consume? Ashwagandha is very, very safe medicine. As I said, it belongs to tomatoes family. There is no scientific study that has any measures adverse event with ashwagandha. You can safely consume it up to from 600 mg to up to 1000 mg actually, but I would recommend that 600 mg should be enough per day for a normal person, but it can be consumed up to 1000 mg safely, especially if you have a severe anxiety attack, you can't sleep, and you feel under heavy stress, and you can do up to 1000 mg, but in general 600 mg should be enough. And when to consume, you can take it, like if you're consuming 600 mg, take it twice, 300 mg, maybe one in the afternoon, one in the late evening. You can consume it with the food. For Vata and Kapha, it's a very, very safe medicine. They shouldn't have any problem. Pitta, it may have some problem if consumed, especially consumed for a long period of time, because it's Ushan in Prakriti. So, because of Ushan, it has to be consumed with something that is calm it down. Like you should use either aloe vera or amla or giloy to cool it down. Any medicine which basically bring the temperature of overall fauna down. So if it is Ushan, if some you add something which is cooling, then it can balance it and can be consumed safely. So 600 mg per day and can be consumed by twice a day. I hope you like the video. Please do subscribe our channel and support us. I'll bring more information about Ashvagandha and other major herbs of Ayurveda. And see you soon. Take care.